Why are you settling for less? If you click on this video, you know that you are settling for less. My name is Blanca, and I'm delighted to see you here. In the next 30 odd minutes, I will be sharing with you why we settle for less and what we can do about it. Before we start, I want you to visualize what would it be not to settle for less. I want to start with the end in mind. I want you to visualize what could be your life, that it could be infinitely abundant, and abundant with ease, that you're walking through the garden of life and you can easily find customers, time with your children, wonderful intimate moments with your husband, joy with your mother, joy with the neighbor, peace, inner peace. Imagine what would it be for you, the opposite of settling. How does it sound in your soul? Does it sound like abundance, like blessings, like peace, like breaking cycles of the past, like generating a legacy for the future? Just feel it in all your beautiful body. And open your heart to receive, because quite likely it's not a coincidence that you're here, and there must be this tiny detail that will open your heart, that will open the door towards this abundance that you're craving, towards this peace that you're craving. And let us go back to ask you if you're in the right place. You are here in the right place if you're simply wondering if you're settling. Because if you just have that question into your mind, is that you are. And you know what that means is that life is asking you to expand, to ask for more, without shame, without guilt. Because maybe you're already quite successful and you want to level up. You can be very successful in business, but you want more in private. Maybe you're quite successful in your body, that you are quite healthy, but you want to travel. Settling is that the world, life, the universe, God is asking you to expand. This is what it actually means, that you are meant for growth, that there's change calling you. So during this workshop, we're going to do three things. We're going to look at the one cause for settling. The meat is going to be the solution, that is the 5 principles that will help you to reclaim that version of yourself that is happy, that is magnetic, and that is powerful. And of course, number 3 is, how can you translate these theoretical principles into actual actions? Ready? So who am I and why should you listen to me? Well, I can tell you, I used to be a person who settled. I thought I was successful because I worked really hard. I was working 12 to 16 hours a day. I was weightlifting really hard and harder. I was reading like crazy. Was I sleeping? How was my health actually? How were my results actually? I was completely immersed in the paradigm of more, so much more on my plate, that the reality in my life was quite dry. I share with you here in the right is a little bit of my CV, who I am, all the vanity of, I went to university, I had a corporate career, I've written 3 books, I speak 3 languages. I got prizes, several prizes all my life. I got so many prizes, it's just insane. But this prize is quite interesting. I took that photo. Also that you get to know me with the short hair. This is like the ultimate photo of, for me, settling. It doesn't look like, does it? I got a prize. But if you see, even the photo is dark, pixelated, and I have this short hair, the short hair of striving, of perfectionism. Not one single hair should be out of place. And this photo is really, really sad because some hours difference that this prize was given to me, I learned that my mother passed. And the passing of my mother was a gigantic awakening for me on the subject of how big and bold you want to live your life, or how small and shy you want your life to live. You want to live your life. When I went to clean her house, because that's what you do when your mother passes, I found all these things, her journals and her papers, and I found all these poems. She passed without publishing her poems. And that for me was such an awakening of your life is happening now. You have to live your life now. And what is actually to live your life? What is actually to live your life? What is to be everything that you can potentially be? It's not about getting tired. It's about, what is it about? I don't know. So that got me into a deep exploration of what is meaningful, what is important, and what you have to do now. Do you have to answer all the emails? Do you have to have all the projects? Do you have to do the launch exactly how your business coach told you? Do you have to be in Instagram, on Facebook, and LinkedIn? Do you have to do everything that is in your agenda, really? So I got myself really into trying to understand meaning, the meaning of life, values, who am I? I did really a really deep dive that really, it was like a concentrated effort of everything that I did before. And that's brought me to a renewed self. I can tell you that today, I went from the arrogant woman who will tell you that has all these titles, all these prizes, and who knows all the answers because I read all the books, that I tell you that I don't know and I'm exploring, that I have many questions, that I'm learning, that I'm expanding, and I don't even know what is the opposite of settling. I don't even know what is the highest level that you can experience. How far can you go in loving somebody? How far can you go in creating impact? How far can you go in being happy? So you can see me here just enjoying this flower, as enjoying the divine feminine, as enjoying our great Gaia, as enjoying, life and expanding it to its maximum. And this transformation for me has made me so much better as a coach. I have women who have opened businesses, divorced, started their own travel around the world. It's just so exciting to see them moving from settling into playing real big, and real big, something really close to their soul. And this is precisely why you're here. This is precisely what is my wish for you. So what is settling? Settling is that world of never enough, that world of dryness, of your soul feeling Don't talk about vulnerability, don't talk about tuition, don't talk about spirituality, don't have even girlfriends because you have to do things fast, you have to be profitable, never enough. You have to be efficient, you have to compete, you have to hustle. It is the metaphor of the pyramid. And for me, that is not success. Even if you are high in the pyramid, you're still in the pyramid, you're still settling. For me, playing real big is just like the jungle. You are part of the jungle. You are part of the community. You know when is the right time to do it. You're in flow. It's easy, it's calm, it's abundant. This is what we are going to talk about in this presentation. The opposite of settling. So I want you to fill in these two lines. I want, but. And this is a homework that is really quite difficult. Maybe you want to pause the recording, maybe you want to come back to it, but this is huge because, you know, I have done this exercise with so many women. And when I ask them fill it in, some really, they can say, I want $1 million, but I don't have the right business model, but I don't have enough following in social media, but I don't have the skills, but I don't have the book, but. But they already know what they want. There are other women that say, I don't even know what I want. I don't know how to fill in the first line. So I gave you this exercise for you to start expanding what is possible for you to start realizing in which way you are settling. I would like to have a vibrant relationship with my husband, but I'm already 20 years with him. Well, already defeated. I would like to be successful, but I don't want to earn more than my husband. I would like to, but. And the but could be personal, like the examples that I give, but it could be political or economical or historical, or, you know, historical to the past. I want X, but my mother never did it, or in my culture that never happened. I want but. The more you explore these, the more you will realize why you're settling. Because you see, when you answer these, you answer why you're settling. You already know it is the hogwash that we have between our ears. The hogwash that we have between our ears. And of course, there are different levels of hogwash, what your mother and father told you, what your culture told you. But today I want you to pay attention that in the past 12,000 years, we have been told that success is separation. Success is going up the pyramid. If you don't go up the pyramid, if you are not separated from the ones below, lower the pyramid, you are not successful. And that is what leads to gender wars, the patriarchy, and now we have to put a matriarchy because now we have to be powerful, racism, political problems, war, and everything is this outdated old definition of success, of I am better than you. And of course, this is what makes us feel less than. And especially for women, because, you know, it's a man's world, the one who's the winner, the king. So we feel less than, like inherently. Oh my God, I'm slaughtering the word, I'm sorry. We feel less than because of these ancient programs, thousands of years. So our mother felt like that, our grandmother felt like that, our great-grandmother felt like that, and all the other women keep resonating this story that we women suffer, we women are the victims, and it just keeps perpetuating. So this has really gotten part of our own body, really like literal trauma. And you can see there are many ways of seeing it, but I like to think about 3 levels of this self-worth dysmorphia. What is dysmorphia? dysmorphia is not to see accurately. So we do not see accurately how worthy we are, how divine we are, because we're divine. We're the divine, the representation, the human representation of everything that is, of the great mother of Gaia. You are that representation. How is it possible that we have feel less than what? Like, that is everything that is. So the first way this dysmorphia appears, it appears in our ideas, in our what we think, how we express ourselves, how we identify ourselves. So, you're crazy. Did you say that? Oh, you're crazy. And I feel like an idiot, or I am sorry. All these things that we put in our face, and we, to stop being crazy, we go to university and we study and we just try to belong in this world that lives in top of the pyramid, that lives in the brain. And we forget everything else that is, so that we can belong. And this is terrible, because then we let go of really the most powerful parts of ourselves. That, of course, being intelligent is important, but there are other things that are much more powerful, especially for women. And that is your emotions. So we hide, we cry at home, we cry alone, we cry a lot alone. I like to put this crying in the toilet, because I went once to a conference for women, corporate women in technology, and they put that title of one of the presentations. I found it so amazing, crying in the toilet, hiding what we feel, especially for intelligent women, because we have to repress and to hide what we feel. Not good. Not good. Third, we don't talk about ovaries. We don't talk about vagina. We don't talk about desire. We don't talk about creativity. We don't talk about sex. When really, this is the most sacred part of what is to be a woman. And this is the most sacred part of what is the divine feminine. The capacity to bring forth life, the capacity to become a mother. This is the most sacred that there is. And the womb is not just for the practical purpose of giving children, but it is also the energetic place from which creativity comes for women. So when we reclaim our relationship with our heart and with our womb, the possibility for us to express ourselves in the world and to appear in the world in a more grounded and powerful way just gets transformed. So when we heal, when we remember how worthy we are, these three things get transformed. From you being crazy to being wise, owning how wise you are. From crying alone, you actually feel empowered. That power that empathy gives you, that power that compassion gives you, the power that compassion and courage gives you. Compassion and courage come from the Latin word heart, corazón, the cœur. That is power, where the emotions lie. And if you want to know more, go to the HeartMath Institute. They will tell you all scientific papers, hundreds of scientific papers, where they tell you that what the ancestors told us about the heart is totally true. Abundance. When we connect with the power of our womb, when we heal the shame and the guilt that we feel from being women, we open ourselves to abundance. But of course, for as long as we keep it unconscious, this lack of self-worth, it will continue to rule and direct our life. So what I offer you is that you take the driver's seat. Let go of the idea that somebody's going to save you. Let go of the idea of blame. that is a patriarchy, is your mother, is somebody, is politics. It's time for you to become your own healer. This ancestral trauma is going to be healed by each one of us, by the actions, by the thoughts, by the habits that each one of us take. Of course, I'm not saying that psychologists, psychiatrists, therapists are bad guys. They are great. And you should really, if you feel that need, if now I tell you about the woman, you remember, if you know that you have been abused or you lost a baby or, you had some kind of real trauma, please get yourself into therapy. That's really good. Go get into therapy. But that doesn't mean that you are off the hook. You are the greatest gift that you have gotten. So therefore, you are also the great responsibility that you have. So it is time that you decide who you are going to be. Are you going to be the victim of these thousands of years of patriarchy? Or are you going to be the active actor of reconciliation, love, and creating a new world? I think the second one is correct. So then you want to know now, what are the principles that I've been telling you about? They are 5, and I call them the play real big principles. And of course, as they are 5, they fit perfectly with the word heart, because the heart is the place where we can harmonize this that is above the mind, the third eye, our identity, who we connect with to the universe and our womb. And the heart is the one that creates the balance between heaven and earth, the balance between doing and feeling. So heart, for the H is heart to heart, for the E is essence, for the A is aligned with nature, the R is rituals, and the T is transform triggers. Wow, what is that? I will explain to you one by one. So the heart to heart is basically stop walking alone. You really have to walk in sisterhood. And again, as I'm very spiritual, I bring you some science. This is research that the UCLA did. And they say basically that having profound and truthful conversations heals you, rewires your brain. So when you are open to have a heart-to-heart with a person who is also open to have a heart-to-heart, you both heal. And as you both heal, a series of patterns of better behavior and better love and better results just start occurring. It is like mirrors, like a hall of mirrors. If the Africans say it very beautifully. If you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, it's better to go together. I have a couple of examples of some of my clients, but you can read them. But the gist of them is that women, when they decide to be sisters, they can be so powerful. They can be so compassionate. They can be a force of nature, community. I know, of course, that we have been told to be afraid of each other because women are powerful. But what if we all are powerful together? Suddenly, instead of being something to be afraid of, is something to cherish. So get yourself some girlfriends, and very, very profound, deep girlfriends. Number 2 is about your essence. And it is about upgrading your self-concept. Really, question is who you are and who you want to be. Who you are essentially and how you can bring the being of where you are right now to who you actually are. And here I like to quote Joe Dispenza. Becoming the person you aspire to be requires you that you stop being the old self. So in fact, to explore your essence is to radically focus on less and best. And it is something really difficult for women because it implies to say no. No to meetings, no to parties, no to clothes, so less and best. And I give you some other examples of some of my clients, how they did it. And my favorite one is in the bottom right. He started to say no to more and more meetings. And it was so difficult for her, so difficult. The first time that she said no to a meeting, she was absolutely terrified, but she did it. She did it and she said, well, the world didn't collapse and I say no again. And then she started to realize how powerful she was, who she actually was. So when she had the next negotiation with her boss, it was very easy to get an assistant and a salary increase. So by really iteration of taking away, chiseling away who you are not, you start uncovering who is who you are, who is who you essentially are. Principle number 3, align with nature. And this is where we get really spiritual, because who is nature? Is reality. Whose reality is the great beyond, is the oneness, is Gaia, is spirit. And you could say, oh my God, no, Blanca, this is getting really woo-woo, weird, it's just too spiritual. Well, I can tell you the greatest scientist that the world has given us, our dear Albert Einstein, said that the more you will get closer to science, the closer you got to divine. So as you get closer and closer to the oneness of everything that there is, you start sinking to the cycles of reality. You start getting more and more powerful. Just think about it. What's the difference when you are cycling, when the wind behind you, or when the wind against you? Or when you're swimming, you go swimming up the river, or you let yourself be carried by the river going down. So when you sink to those cycles of nature, your health, your results just change dramatically. And then you get things that, out of the blue, I receive an invitation. By sinking in with nature, got fired, but got in a dream position. It's really like opening ourselves to receive, opening ourselves to serendipity, because we are not in control. When we are trying to control reality, nothing happens really. But when we surrender to how beautiful reality is, reality carries us. And then we have what is called miracles. It is, is preparation and opportunity. Meeting is really aligning to reality, aligning to nature. Number 4. Number 4 is about what you repeatedly do. What you repeatedly do. It's not just about wishful thinking, but it's about practical action. And practical action is really the yin and the yang, is to do nothing, to allow solutions to surprise and delight you, and take action. And that make it a ritual. And the ritual doesn't have to be the same for everybody. The ritual is to see which is the ritual for you. Is it for you to drink tea? Or is it for you to drink water? Is it for you to do yoga, or is it Tai Chi? What is the way that works for you? Because it's not true that one size fits all. There are some recommendations from scientists, there are some recommendations from spiritual teachers, but at the end of the day is what you are going to do and what you are going to implement. That's what makes a difference. The actions that you actually do. And I can tell you that I have seen so beautiful, beautiful outcomes from journaling, from sleeping better, from running, from tiny little incremental steps change your life. Principle number 5. Life is not just Disneyland. In life, there is tragedy and there is malevolence. There is, but what if they could become? Now I think of Marcus Aurelius, the obstacle is the way. What if we could transform whatever is the trigger that happens into our life into the stepping stone that makes us, that takes us to our next level? And the person that inspires me so much here is Nassim Taleb. He's the author of the book Anti-Fragile. He says that anti-fragility is beyond resilience and robustness. Resilience is, I'm going to read it. The resilient resist shocks, resists. So it just continues like that. And it stays the same. And the anti-fragile gets better. How do you do that? How do you do that? The secret to do this is to really deeply believe and observe, have the practice of thinking, life is happening for me. When you think life is happening for me, this is happening for me, then your awareness completely changing, the perception of the reality changes, and then you start seeing absolutely miraculous outcomes. This one was so amazing. This is one of the most beautiful moments in my coaching practice. Jay was able to transform a potentially massive argument with her mother with the most beautiful heart-to-heart with her. And what we have, many the women in my practice, they are having mothers that are getting older and older, and it's hard to talk to them, but they are going to die. And what if we can have a heart-to-heart instead of an argument? It's a very different way of relating to them, no matter how difficult it is, because you're in control of yourself, not of the rest of the world. So when you learn to transform the triggers of life into purifying experiences of your own identity, you will really play real big. Not challenge your mother, it could be a bad lunch, it could be a car accident, it could be something else. Those are the 5 principles of playing real big. Now you're going to tell me, how can I incorporate this into your life? Well, it's very easy. You just do them because they are as easy as pie. You find friends, you focus in just the essential, you see when the sun comes up and you wake up early, you go to bed before the 10 o'clock, you have certain rituals, you think these things are happening for me. Yeah, it's easy. It's just very easy. I give you recommendations that are very easy. And you're going to want to remember what Jim Rohn used to say. What is easy to do, it is also very easy not to do. Very, very easy not to do. Because of that, and because I really care for the well-being of women, because women are going to change the world, is that I created a 9-week journey that I call Play Real Big. It's a journey to remember, reclaim, and reactivate that power that is authentically you, the ancestral feminine, divine feminine. It is absolutely, completely free. There is one catch. You have to show up for the 9 weeks. You have to commit to yourself that for those 9 weeks, you will show up for yourself. Just imagine. You will be practicing expanding your tolerance for being more successful, and successful in a way that feels. Imagine practicing speaking your truth. Imagine practicing walking your talk. And imagine allowing God to give you, let God do the work. So that is visibility, that is achievements, that is miracles. So you're invited, join us. Play Real Big, 9 weeks. A journey to remember, reclaim, and reactivate your authentic feminine power. And this is absolutely my gift to you. I wish you all the best, and I hope to see you inside.